Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, before we proceed, I would like to apologize about one thing. Just like the last video, this video also might have a little bit of background noise. And again, the reason is only because I'm traveling and I'm still not in my recording setup, which I normally do. But I assure you, this is going to be the last one like that. The next video, when I record and upload it, it will be in my proper setup. But there are few things which do keep coming and which I would definitely like to share. And since I'm traveling, there is a little limitation and restriction for me, but I still wanted to continue doing what I'm doing. So I hope you can bear with me for this time. Thank you for that in advance. So in this channel in the past, you've seen me talking about Claude and GPT a lot. Then I showed you the AWS Kiro CLI. We even saw the GLM 5.2 model. And last week, we discussed about the co-work application. That is the 2.0 version of co-work, which is really amazing. And we can control our machines from that too. Okay. So all this is happening. But what I've noticed is generally all the apps, all the models which are coming out from different companies, they are kind of looking and feeling more or less similar. And the recent addition to this is something called Kimi K3. Now, the company is called Moonshot and the model is called Kimi, Kimi. And recently they came out with a very upgraded version called K3. And I was very, eager and enthusiastic to try it out. So I came to this website here. So this is called Kimi.com. Okay. And as you can see, this has the AI desktop. Okay. When I say AI desktop, it's an AI application for the desktop. And you can download it for Windows also. And that's what I did. So today, let me show you what I've done and we can test it together. I have not yet tested it, but let's try to test it together. Okay. So I have already downloaded and installed this application. So I'm going to open that. I'll close everything else. Okay. So this is the application. So first thing is, if you notice, I'm in my free plan. I have not paid anything to this app so far. And you can see, just like Claude, and just like Codex, you have these work options and the chat options. And you may already know work is something like co-work in Claude. Chat is your regular chat. Okay. And here there is no Codex kind of environment, but then I found something else. When you go to the chat model, right, you see Kimi code. Now this Kimi code is nothing but your coding. That is like your Claude code setup. And the Kimi Claw. Now this Kimi Claw is completely like your Hermes agent or OpenClaw agent, but this is specific to the Kimi model. Now all these things, they only come when we go for the paid version of it, not in the free version. Okay. And the reason I say that is I tried this actually. I went and clicked on Kimi code here. I'll show you what happens. So you see that it gives me all these commands. So you have to install the commands, the command line interface. But this is not available for free. So you need to pay at least $15 a month for it to work. Unlike sometimes we can install Cloud Code for free and we can try it at least with the basic version. But this one we need to pay for it. So I did not end up doing it. This is the Kimi code, and then there is Kimi Claw. Now Kimi Claw is just like OpenClaw, Kimi Claw desktop. When you click on this, right, it will do something like an OpenClaw. It's a kind of an OpenClaw version of that. So I have not done that too because I don't want to end up paying for this application right now. I want to test out what is available out of the box and what is free for us. Okay, so it keeps telling me to upgrade the plan here. It says, I can send invitations to other people and get some kind of credits here. And I'm not going to do all that. Okay, I'm just going to be trying this application. So there are swarms, slides, deep research, websites. I know slides that can create PowerPoints. It can do deep research just like Codex does that. It can create websites. So just like Codex has the sites feature, it has this one. It has documentation. It has sheets. This is Word and this is Excel. I'm not exactly sure how the swarm works. Maybe I'll do some more investigation, and we'll see that in the in the next video. Okay. So today I just want to walk through this one, and here it says new chat, and if I go to work, it's a new task. So work is task, chat is chat. Okay. You have plugins. Plugins are just like skills and MCPs. So you can see there are so many plugins and skills. Plugin in turn has combination of MCPs and things like that. So you go to finance, you'll see um, there are the things like Binance, I can see here. Productivity and Office, Notion is connected here. Code and development, Supabase is there, GitHub is there. So let's do this. So coming back to work and chat, those are the two things. Chat is obviously, just like the regular chat. Um, you can just ask some questions and things like that. So what is the current weather in Arizona? I don't know if it's having, so it does have the web searching opportunity. Let's see that. Oh, it's saying I don't have access. Fine, that's okay because we have to give that access to the internet and things like that, web searching and all that. Yeah, I've not done that. I've just installed this. I just wanted to see how it behaves though. Okay, so that's fine. Now let's go to work. Now what I've done, so again, just like Claude Cowork or Codex Work or even I think Gemini has that feature for paid versions. So it is asking me different options here. And before we go there, you see that this is the K3. So you have K3 Max. Also. There's a model on top here which is something K3 Max, K3 Swarm, K3 2.6. So this is like a Swarm is basically multiple agents. So I'm guessing that it runs it in multiple agents. Okay, I'll keep it to this one itself. Now this says ask permissions full access, and it's also having working in a project. All this is exactly same as like Cloud Code and Codex has. Okay, but the cheaper, it's much cheaper than Cloud Code and Codex. At least I can say it's cheaper than Cloud Code. I'm not sure about Codex. Maybe the price is same, but again, I'm not sure about the performance of this. Okay. So here we have start from scratch, use existing folder, work without a folder. Let's do a folder, but I don't have an existing one. Let's do this. I'm going to go to my folder here. I'll go to my LLM wiki and I'll create a folder here. I'll call it Kimi A3 test. So just a folder on my laptop. I'm putting it here. So it's connected to that. Let me go and say full access. Okay, so it's going to give me some warning, but it's again only for this folder. So I'm going to give it full access. Okay, so the setup is done. Now let's do this. I am going to open this folder team and I'm going to place two files which I've already created. I'm going to keep two files. We'll open that file and then we'll talk about it. All right, team. So as you can see, I'm on that folder. This is the folder which we created. So there are two files here. Let me open. Both of them are CSV files. See, normally we used to do Python programs and other Streamlit dashboards and things like that till about a year or two back. But nowadays, with all these models, so much of work can be done using these apps. So this is the invoice number, the customer number, the invoice date, and the USD amount. Okay, so these are the four columns in this. And let me open the other file too, which is basically a bank statement file. Okay, so this is the bank statement. So you have the transaction ID, the date, the description of the transaction, the reference, which is basically the invoice number from the other file, and then the amount. Okay, so this is what. So we are trying to do a reconciliation between these two. So that's what I'm going to do, team. Okay, let me close this file too, and then I'm going to show you the prompt which I've created so that I can give it directly to the model. This is the prompt. So first thing is I'm giving the date today. Okay, and then I'm saying reconcile the attached bank statement, which is this, against the invoice. Output a JSON. Now this time I'm not asking for a regular English. I'm saying I need a JSON object because I wanted to test the structured output format. So it should have fully paid, partial or unpaid, any anomalies, unmatched payments, and aging summary. And then within that I've given some exact fields. It should be an array of invoice number and transaction ID, partial or unpaid. So it should be an array again of invoice number, paid, outstanding, days, old, bucket. And if there is an anomaly, array of type, invoice number, transaction ID, and then explanation of the anomaly. Okay, and then unmatched payments, which just have the transaction IDs. Aging summary, which bucket it is, 30, 60, 90, 32, so 0 to 30, 31 to 60, 60 plus, and then outstanding. So those are the, I need the output in this format. Okay, normally I used to ask output as an Excel sheet or some kind of dashboard, some spreadsheets. So this time I thought of testing it using a structured output. And the rules are every bank transaction must appear exactly once, matched, flagged, or anomaly, or unmatched. For any match not supported by the exact reference, state the evidence, okay, and the confidence level. Normally, I ask for confidence level because that's my way of understanding whether the model, is giving me more accurate results. I always try to ask for a confidence level. Generally, the confidence level comes between 0 and 1. Okay, if it's closer to 1, then the output seems a little more confident. That is again my way of testing. You can do your own way too. Okay. Never force a match. Unexplained payments go to unmatched payments, and then all amounts are up to two decimals. So this is the rules I'm going to use. Let me copy this here. Let me go back to this one. Now this one has full access. Let me paste here. And let's say it's on K3 Max. I'm hoping that in the free version I do get some runs out of it, but let's try it out. So I'm giving the prompt. Now I have to wait. Now, as you can see, as I do that, right, you can notice that it becomes a project for me. And then under that project, the actual folder structure is shown here. All this is exactly same like what Codex or Cloud Code has. If you filter here, right, you can just say, open this file in the file explorer. That is, if I want to open this file directly in the file explorer, I can still do that. So it comes to this folder. Okay. And if I go here, open again the folder itself. This is the folder. Same thing which keeps coming back. There we have an option of putting it directly. I think it should be here. So let's say, what does this do? Okay, then this is for creating a new project. So there we have an option which says don't put the project names here, just show me the complete chat. That's also one option available. I think that it's not available here. Okay, that's fine. Let's wait and see what happens. So I'm going to put on pause, and when it gives me some information, I'll come back and unpause it. Okay, so now it's reading the CSV file. Let it read it. I think it's a little slow though. I mean, Cloud and Codex don't take this much time, and there's not much data also. Maybe it's because of free version. In the meantime, let's talk about the other things. So we've discussed plugins. Plugins are basically, so we are in the work section. We are in task which we gave here. Dashboard. I'll not click on dashboard right now because I don't want this to change. We'll come back to this later. Plugins. Plugins are basically MCPs or things like that. The connectors and all the other things. So those are plugins. And we already saw we tried to connect the GitHub plugin. It was not working for some reason. I'll have to check it. But we have other plugins also. And Cloud and Codex have a large number of plugins. In fact, they have the Google, they have Outlook, they have Slack, and so many different plugins are there. So my point, team, is I think what we can all do, right, we can try to install some free version like this, try to get our hands dirty on that, run all these prompts here, keep it ready, refine them. All those things we can do here. I don't see projects on top here, but there is a project here. But they also have projects over there. So my suggestion is use these free applications like GLM or this one and do as much as research you can on this. And then when you feel confident, then get into Cloud and Codex where you can pay a little and get better results. But for trying it out, I think because it's all looking the exact same thing. If you go to Cloud Code and if you put it in the dark shade, if you go to Codex and put it in the dark shade, I feel it's difficult to say which is what, if you ask me. Schedule task is just like schedule jobs. Every application has that. You can create jobs, you can create some kind of activity which can run in an automatic fashion. So just like schedule talks. Now WebBridge is something new to this. Let's click on this. So it says browser extension. It clicks, fits, navigates, and extracts tedious work on autopilot. Now I have not tried the browser extension, team. Two reasons. I'm thinking that it could be a paid one. If it's free, then I will do it in the next session. I have not tried browser extensions. I have done all these. Like for example, I have Claude's extension, I have GPT's extension. I'm not really sure about this one. I'll try it in the next session. I'll show it to you. Let's close this. So it's given a name called bank statement reconciliation. Yeah, it's given a name called bank statement reconciliation. Let it be. But one thing I can tell you is extremely slow. It's already like 4 5 minutes since we submitted this, and I do not see it's at 14:38, right? Yeah, it's been 4 minutes since I submitted this one, and I don't see it. So it says things complete, thinking completed. So this was the thought process. If you expand it, the user mentioned attached bank statement, but I don't see any attachments. I should check the workspace directory. Let me look. Okay, when I say attachment, I mean in the folder. Yeah, the and then this one. Okay, it's running the request. It's doing all these responses. Okay, now it's reading this bank statement. You can see the data in this. Then reading the invoice form. So when I said attachments, this is what I meant. Yeah, I've said attached here, right? So basically, I think I should have said look at the folder and get it, but instead of that, I said attached, and it's basically correcting me. That's okay. Both files are in the workspace. I've reconciled all 41 transactions against the 50 invoice ledger, aged as of today. That's why I gave today's date. Let me save the result as a JSON file and verify it parses. So it's writing the file. So let's wait and see. I think it's doing it, but let's wait and see. And again, this is Kimi A3 Max, and here if you highlight this, it shows me context used 10% at 23,000 of 256K. And since it's already running at runtime, I don't think I can change the model here. So while it comes, do you think we should go? Let's go and check the chat one. Okay, so this is the chat. We already saw the chat which I gave here. That also has plugins, schedule tasks. What is there in the collapse? Okay. This too, we have seen Kimi Code and Kimi Claw. They are available only for the paid version, so we cannot do that today. But whatever chat I asked previously, I was asking some questions about the Kimi product. So that is this chat, and this one is about the Arizona weather chat. So that's over here. So chat is pretty straightforward. Chat also has some plugins, as you can see. Utilities, creative design. I've never heard most of these. I know Canva, but BB5 and New School. I've never heard this. I don't know what audio generation. Maybe it needs some kind of prescription. I mean, subscription with something. Similarly, video generation. There is this image. Now, this image generation, whether it is it's saying switch to available model. Never mind. We can check all this later. It's not going to be rocket science anyway. Let's go back here. Back statement. Okay. So it says both the files are in workspace. Verified. Too many people are chatting with Kimi right now. Please try again soon because it's a free version, right? Okay, please try again. So probably this is the issue with the free version. I'll better shut up and not go into another chat. Let's just wait here. Oops, I'm getting the same error team. So let's stop. I will try it later, and if it works, maybe I'll do it again. Okay, I'll just hold on. I'll just put the video on pause. But you know what? There's another thing because it was saying right. It says wrote the file. So I'm guessing that the file might already be there. Let's go and see. It's just that after that it stopped abruptly. Let's see if the file is created. Okay, so I do see the file is created. You can see reconciliation.json. Let's try to open that with Yeso. Okay, it did that actually. You can see as of today, these are the fully paid, this is the partially paid, and you can see the description also. So the reason I wanted to show this in the JSON format is we can actually provide this to any downstream system also, right? Instead of an Excel sheet. Partially, and these are the anomalies. Let's say anomaly says extract reference INV, but paid this one against the invoice. So 3350 was paid, but the invoice amount was 3375, underpaid by $25. So it did that. So invoice carried as partially paid with $25 outstanding. So that's in the anomaly. Duplicate payment, transaction 020 and transaction 1030. What does it say? Invoice 20 peaceful validation was already paid in full by this, okay, with the same reference and the amount, EXN20. So it's basically checking all that, right? It's checking and saying that it's like a duplicate payment. So this kind of intelligence only comes from a model, right? In the sense, or a human. Okay, then these are in the bucket, aging summary bucket. How much money is in this bucket, this bucket? That's good. If needed, we can always, ask it to give it in the Excel or a spreadsheet version also, or we can ask it to create a dashboard. I don't know if it will be accepting my request. Let's see. The file is created, but can you make me a, and let's call it interactive dashboard. And while this does, right, let's go to the schedule task here and say create a schedule task manually, or what is this? Create from chat. Okay. I think we can create from chat, but I would rather let me just paste it here. And I'll use the same project, use existing folder, select the folder. Now I can run this at a particular time. So let me just run it at 3 p.m. and save it. So it's created the task. So it will do the task daily at 3 p.m. So today it is going to be in another 10 minutes. So I'll show that to you if it works. So let's come back here again. It's doing the same thing. So I think this is the limitation of the free version. Too many people are chatting, so I'm not able to do that. So even if I schedule it right, I don't think it's going to work. So I'm just going to let it schedule. If it works, I'll put it in the comment section that it worked. Okay, so I think what I suggest is you can also download this app. It's free for downloading, and you can try to use this model K3, or you can use K2.6. You can keep the thinking level of standard or high conversation capacity. See, I've kept it on standard, but that's extra long. But again, that's for the planned version. Okay, up to 1 million tokens. So obviously, when we are using the planned version, it's going to be better than what you see right now. But I don't think it's bad. It still generated the JSON which I wanted, but I don't know how many JSON files I can extract like this, with this kind of model, because the context is another thing. It's used only 15%. So I don't know in free version how much context I'm allowed, or how many tokens I can process at a time, and is there some kind of usage? Let's go and check it out here. Generally, membership I've not taken. This is about feedback and settings. Let's see the settings. What is it having? So there are two types of settings here. One is just the Kimi settings. I think that's the chat, and this is the work. And launch it, login, keep the computer awake. So I've enabled this one. This web bridge. So basically, if you remember, that's for the plugin, the Chrome extension. Now, I don't want to do anything with my browser on this machine. Archive task. If you have done any archive, I think it will show up here. We have not done anything. That's the version. Now let's go to the regular chat. So that's the theme. Actually, I prefer the dark, so I kept it as a dark theme here. I don't know what the preset is. Okay, there are some special words, I believe. Shortcut prompts. Expand slider on search. Subscription. No, I have not done anything for subscription. It keeps going back to that window. Memory, whatever the default memory is. I'm thinking that it will have some system level memory, and I have not added any instructions here. I'm just using, but you can have a dream. See, it says a dream memory, and this says memory instructions. I have not added any customization or personalization yet on this. each night. So we enable this. It says, oh, this is only available for the paid version. Okay. See, by default, they are forcing you to do the payment. There's so many different models coming. It's impossible for all of us to keep paying for everything. You pay for one, but you cannot pay for everything. And I'm still using both Cloud and Codex, and sometimes I use Gemini. So I'm not sure whether I'll be paying anything for this at this stage, but let me try to use it for some more time. Just like GLM, even GLM is good. So I don't think this is bad, but I'm still thinking whether I should be paying for this. Let's see if we can continue back to this work here. What about now? So in Claude we have interactive dashboards. Okay, it will show up here. Claude already has so many other options. I don't think this has all that option, but maybe it's not as a task here. Maybe it still performs it. I don't know that for sure. Open in the file. What is this? Project knowledge. Okay, so right now it's the context is okay. Now this is something which still shows up in Claude, but it's by default on the right hand side. Here it is showing under this option, bank statement and all the files that it created. Okay, and then reveal in the folder, and then this one show the panel. So this is this. So this panel. So in that the panel was available by default. You can see this one also is toggle. Okay, so I think unfortunately people have been using this. Thankfully, it did at least the kind of work I was hoping for it to do today. I'll keep trying it when it comes back, and I would appreciate if you guys can also try and let me know how you find it. Thank you so much. Talk to you in the next session. Bye.